Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Goat Locker Racing. This is the Next Gen series brought to you by Goat Locker Racing and Cruising Classics. We're racing in Atlanta tonight, 100 laps. Currently, as the field gets ready, they're in their practice sessions right now. We're going to watch a couple of them, and I'm making sure I get everything situated and up to date. So it looks like we have 13 drivers tonight. We've got Jamie Barkas, Patrick Drabick, Jacob Ellenson, Colton Lanford, John Anthony, Timothy Douglas, Colton Tutton, Tommy Osborne, James Kaufman, Greg Barnett, James Goshen, Mark Brannigan, and Alex Cruz on the field tonight. So, as you can see, everybody's in their, everybody is having is out on the course doing the warming up of the tires and practicing, getting everything ready. It looks like, what is going on here? Let's see. Something's not right now. Oh, Jamie's in the, that's why. Looks like the field is in, and nobody is out on the track just yet. So we're gonna take a look around. There we go. Trying to get everything situated here. The number 41 is James Kaufman making his rounds. So let me check real quick,
right.
see if
Got 100 laps here to Atlanta, so basically another super speedway. We're not going to call the white and red line out of bounds. That's just going to ask that you use caution if you've got squad overs or whatever. And of course, it is your responsibility to come back up on the track safely. So if you go down there to make a pass, doesn't mean the guy's going to let you back up when you get to the corner. Use at your own risk. Don't force anybody up on the regular race area. But won't call it out of bounds. We got one pass repair for the tires. Sitting in the pit. Just be cautious. Give some space. I mean, it's kind of dicey, but we've had some good practice here, so I'm looking forward to it. Good luck, everybody.
So, as you could hear, that was Patrick giving his little driver's speech and everything, letting them know that tonight they will be, the boundary is not going to be out of bounds if they go below the white and red. However, the restart zone is in effect for this series. So if the drivers come through and hit the Geico restart zone, then they will be the first person with all four tires. The grid winner has to be the one going through and getting his stuff out there. He's got to be the first guy in the box before anybody else can kick it off and go flying through. So the race will be on the leader of the race in the restart zone. So right now we're going to watch the 00, which is John Anthony, go around and do a qualifying. See how he does on his. Oh, nope, that's the end of the session. The qualifying will be done individually, and we won't get to watch. See how they do. It's going to be an interesting night tonight here at Atlanta. So like I said, we have roughly 13 drivers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14 drivers. 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, nope. We're getting more drivers as they come in. It's the last few minutes, so a lot of people are trying to jump in right now. I am looking, and as they come through, I will let you know who all I see coming in. Connor LaFrance just joined in. So right now everybody is gridding up. So we're seeing how they're doing on that. Jacob Ellenson is at 69% of his first lap. So the other drivers are doing their laps right now. It looks like Tommy Osborne is doing a checkup. So Jacob Ellenson did a 31.63, Jamie Barkus 31.57, James Goshen 32.12, Patrick Drabick is done a 31.50. Colton Lanford put in a 31.75. So these gentlemen are trying to get the grid in and get there as fast as they can. I don't know if it'll let me check on these guys as they qualify or not. Oh, yep, it's letting me do it. So we're watching Connor LaFrance do his qualifications. Right now, Jamie Barkus has the fastest at 31.45. Connor just did a 31.46. So he has his rounds all the way around. Patrick is 31.49. James Goshen is 31.52. Timothy Douglas is 31.58. Colton Lanford is 31.63. James Kaufman just put in a 31.57. Let's see. Colton Tutton, 31.85. We're watching Mr. Kaufman do a round now. All right. So we'll take a look, see how the field grids up here in just a second when I get word that everybody has finished. And I'll go over the grid real quick and tell you who is in what position. Scott Rankin just joined in with us. Let's see, anybody else? There's Mr. Tutton. It looks like he is the last one. I don't think Mr. Rankin is going to be racing with us tonight. I mean, qualifying tonight. So let's take a look at the starting grid. It probably won't do it until everybody is finished and they're ready for the laps to begin. So Mr. Tutton is running his laps out there. We'll see how he does. Scott Rankin is running his laps right now. Let's see where he's at. Okay.
I get 1 week with a public holiday on it, and you guys choose to race this shitty track on that week.
And Mr. Rankin is voicing his...
Suck it up, sugar.
All right, so let's get to the starting grid.
I was looking for something to do this morning, and I'm lonely. Come join me on Discord.
All right, so Jamie Barkas, Connor LaFrance, Patrick Drabick, James Koshin, James Kaufman, Colton Tutton, Timothy Douglas, Colton Lanford, Jacob Ellenson, Mark Brannigan Jr., Scott Rankin, Alex Cruz, John Anthony, Greg Barnett, and Timothy Osborne will be your starting grid of 15 drivers tonight.
He was talking about with his car. It's okay.
So the lights on the pace car are leading them off the field. Let's go down the list, show you each individual car as they come through. Let's see. All right. Get that grid. See if I can remove the grid real quick. All right, so we're watching the start of the race. They're coming down the stretch, and off goes the pace car. As they come into the restart zone, you can hear the engine starting to rev. There they go. So right now, Jamie and Connor are battling it out for first. Patrick has moved up into second, so he has now pushed Connor to the third position. It looks like the fast line is going to be on the inside. However, if they can work together, that outside line will be able to be quicker. Jamie is seeing this, and he is trying to throw the blocks to keep Connor from catching up and going around him. Patrick is giving his teammate a push as they go into turn 3, coming out of 3 into 4. The low line is where it is is the best line right now. You see them dropping across that red and white line. We're making sure that everything is working fine. These gentlemen are having fun as they drive around the course. We are on lap. I'm just watching as the outside line tries to catch up. They're not working together like the bottom line, inside line is. You have Jamie and Patrick working together real well, followed by James Kaufman. That 3 cars working together is what is making this work for the inside line. Plus, it seems a little bit shorter for the Atlanta area. The outside line, if Connor and James Goshen could get together and push each other, they would need Timothy Douglas to give them a helping hand also. So everybody is working together, and they are doing their best to make it work as hard as possible. So right now, nothing too strenuous. They're just warming their tires up. They've got about 4 or 5 laps in. You see some of them letting up as they come out of 4 because they're sliding just a little bit and they don't want to slide too much. Going into turn 1, Jamie Barkus is still leading. He's got Patrick giving him a good push. Patrick is getting pulled back because Connor LaFrance is using that draft and the side draft and pulling him back. They're going into turn 3, little bit on the low side. Jamie's having him run in the middle. As they come out, he goes down low again. Coming back to the start finish, it is Jamie that's holding the front. There is a 0.2 seconds. Oh, Connor just took the lead. He's working it with James Goshen giving him a push on the outside. If James and them keep pushing, they'll be able to push him around. Oh, Jamie is now back in front because Patrick got up to his back end and he's giving him that bump draft off the back. Now there is a little bit of a gap in there. As they go into turn 1, Jamie has the lead again. Patrick is using the side draft to stay ahead of Connor. However, Connor is trying to get to that door on the outside quarter panel and pull Patrick back to him. You've got James Goshen going to the outside just a little bit more further than Connor is, and that is not given the full draft that they need. To be able to do a full draft on this type track, you have to have, like Jamie is, on the middle toward the track. Then Patrick is just off a little bit behind the driver's side, and then Kaufman is just off of that. That's what gets the draft working perfectly for these guys. Jamie and Patrick are now starting to pull away because they are working together in tandem. And Connor has now caught James Kaufman's side panel. James Goshen has fallen back, and now it's now being pulled back by Timothy Douglas. So the pack is actually trying to catch up to the leaders right now, which would be Jamie and Patrick. James Kaufman is now joining up with Jamie, Patrick, and they are trying to pull away. Tim Douglas is trying to catch up to them and catch up there and get into that line. It looks like Connor has lost all momentum because Goshen is dropping back a little bit. Ellinson, not Elkins, Jacob Ellinson in the 27 is now taking over 5th position. As you can see, the leader is still Jamie. Patrick is getting pushed just a little bit by James Kaufman. You've seen a little bit of a bump as they were going into the corner there. Coming into turn 1, you've got them almost lining up single file. Patrick is back by 0.09 seconds. He is trying his best to use the draft. These guys during the practice was working on their tire wear and everything. We have 100 laps to go, or 100 laps total. We just now crossed the lap 15 or 14. So these gentlemen are working hard to keep their lead and everything ahead of everybody else. Want to go through the rest of the field and take a look, see how everybody else is doing. Connor has dropped to 7th position. He has lost 5 positions since now 6 positions as he gets passed by Greg Barnett. Mark Brannigan has jumped up there in front of him and taking away positions too. So Connor and Mark may be trying to get the lead back. Oh! See him dive way down below.
Half the lip.
You see the 27? Oh, 27 gets into it. He turned the 59. Let's go back and watch that one.
Is that my fault?
Let's go back and take a look at that crash.
Pace car going into turn 3 on the backstretch.
Plenty of front right's not attached.
All right, let's go back and watch this unfold. What just happened? Okay. All right, so as we get ready and watch this, you see the... I'm going to wind it back up just a little bit. All right, Timothy is they are 3 wide. Timothy gets tagged just in the rear quarter panel by Jacob Ellenson, which sends him into the wall. You know that Timothy is not happy with that. And that brought out the caution.
Wait, who did I pass under caution?
Everybody went into the field and so the leader right now, James Goshen, stayed out. He made a brazen choice to stay out. It's James Goshen, James Kaufman,
Thank you, sir.
Patrick Drabick, Jamie Barkus, Greg Barnett, Alex Cruz, Colton Tutton,
Hey, Pat, John
Scott Rankin,
Mike's not working, he said.
John Anthony, Colton Lanford, Timothy Douglas, Tommy Osborne, Connor LaFrance, Mark Brannigan, and Jacob Ellenson is in the pit because of damages. You can see the lights are out on the pace car. It looks like they may be getting ready to go. Yes, they are getting ready to go green this time around. All right, so the field there is no waiver rounds right now. Everybody was on the lead lap. However, if Jacob Ellenson cannot get out, he will be 2 laps down. Jacob Ellenson is going 2 laps down now. So he must have suffered some severe damage with that turn. All right, there goes the pace car. Here they come to the green zone, the restart zone. You hear the engines going. Goshen has got a good jump as he gets yep, as he gets out of there. He takes about a 3-car length jump. Patrick is still back there. It looks like Barkus has jumped right in behind Patrick. That gives Patrick the push to be able to catch, and he is now passing Goshen. Goshen must be having some power problems. As they come out of the corner, it's Patrick, and Patrick is now your leader. Patrick, followed by Jamie Barkus, followed by James Kaufman, followed by James Goshen. Patrick and Jamie are working together to get around. They are staying low on the field. They are trying to throw blocks and keep people from catching and passing. Let's see. So the rest of the field is side by side. You've got Goshen and Barnett side by side. Barnett is being pushed by... Oh, what car is that? Scott Rankin of the 49. That's the 49? Yep. Because Alex Cruz is pushing James Goshen. Now Cruz is losing some of the momentum and dropped off. Barnett is being pushed by Scott Rankin in the number 4 car. It should be the 49, but it is the 4. They are being pushed by Colton Lanford. The leaders are Patrick, Jamie, and James Kaufman. So Patrick, James, and James... I'm sorry, guys. We've got all kinds of position changes. Scott Rankin and Alex Cruz are battling for 5th and 6th spot. You see the cars are lining up single file. Scott Rankin is being passed by Alex Cruz on the outside. Greg Barnett is just pulling away from Alex Cruz there. Alex is now caught up to the leaders. They are staying single file as they cross the start-finish line. You've got Patrick Drabick, Jamie Barkus, James Kaufman, Greg Barnett, Alex Cruz, Scott Rankin, Colton Lanford, Colton Tutton, Connor LaFrance, Timothy Douglas, John Anthony, Mark Brannigan, Tommy Osborne, James Goshen, and bringing up the rear, Jacob Ellenson, 2 laps down. Oh, we see side-by-side action, and it looks like Colton just barely touched. That brought out the caution. Let's go back and take a look, see what brought out the caution here. It looks like Colton and... Who is that next to Colton? Timothy Douglas got side by side and just bumped each other just a little bit. Oh, no, that is the 46. The 46 goes around. That would be... Colton Tutton that was turned all the way around. He got Timothy Douglas in that, but he was turned sideways. All right. That was an interesting turn of events. We saw it just as it happened and had to go back and watch it again. You see Greg Barnett and a few of them are heading into the pits to get fresh tires, top off on fuel. We're at lap 30. Nope, I'm sorry, lap 29 of 100 under caution. We have in the pits Connor LaFrance, Timothy Douglas, James Goshen, Colton Tutton, Mark Brannigan, Scott Rankin, Greg Barnett. Looks like Jacob Ellenson will get the wave around to go one lap down. Patrick Drabick, Jamie Barkus, James Kaufman, Alex Cruz, Colton Lamford, John Anthony, Tommy Osborne, Timothy Douglas, Connor LaFrance, Greg Barnett, Scott Rankin, James Goshen are out on the track. Mark Brannigan is now out of the race. I don't know what happened to send him out of the race. Let's see if I can figure out what caused it. He might have been caught up with that and had caught up in the first wreck and then in the second wreck, and that just put him out of the race. Oh, no. Why did it say he was out? Mark Brannigan is not out of the race. He's back out on the course. I'm sorry about that, Mark. My readout was telling me that you was out of the race, and I was like, why would he be out of the race? So, even in the broadcaster's position, we do have issues with some of the stuff going on with the updating. So, this race is being brought to you by Cruising Classics. We're having a good time here in Goat Locker Racing. A lot of the gentlemen are out here enjoying themselves and having a good... This is the second season of the Next Gen Cruising Classics, brought to you by Goat Locker. The lights are off on the pace car. The pace car is getting them side by side. So here's your lineup. It looks like Patrick Drabick is on the inside. Jamie Barkus is on the outside. James Kaufman inside. Alex Cruz outside. Colton Lamford inside. John Anthony outside. Tommy Osborne in the number 1. He starts number 7 inside. Timothy Douglas outside. Connor LaFrance inside. Greg Barnett outside. Scott Rankin inside. James Goshen outside. Mark Brannigan Jr. inside. Colton Tutton outside, and bringing up the rear, Jacob Ellenson one lap down. As the pace car comes off, you hear the engine starting to rev just a little bit. Let's see if Jamie and Patrick are going to fight it out, or if Patrick will take the lead and Jamie follow him right behind him. You got Alex Cruz pushing both of them. Patrick got to the corner first, so Jamie just fell in line. Alex is right there behind him. The three of them are working together. James Kaufman is trying to catch up, and he has caught up. Colton Lamford is dropped back just a little bit. We got Timothy Douglas on the bottom of the track, followed by Greg Barnett. And they are followed by Timothy...
Sorry, guys, I missed the shit.
You hear Tommy Osborne explain how he lost positions because he missed his shift. James Goshen has dropped 5 spots. Jamie Barkus has dropped 1 spot. Patrick is up 1. As they come into the corners, they're side by side. It is Colton and Timothy side by side. Oh, we had a little touch to the outside wall. Who was that? Mark Brannigan is trying his best to push and get back up there to the lead. Everybody is single file as they come out of turn 4. They're going side by side going into turn two. Yes, it is Mark Brannigan trying to catch Greg Barnett. He is trying and pushing. He has now overtaken Greg Barnett. Timothy Douglas is trying to go around Alex Cruz. Alex has moved to the middle of the track. He is forming as a blocker. Now Timothy is now lined up. He's got Mark Brannigan right behind him. They are pushing with LaFrance. Connor LaFrance is pushing them. Last time this happened, Timothy got turned just a little bit by Jake Ellenson. You see them side by side coming out of 3, going into 4, coming down the back stretch into the tri-oval. Sorry, the front stretch. There is 2 lines going into 2. Timothy drops low and runs the middle line. Everybody else is staying low. James Kaufman, however, dropped below the red and white line going into 3 so that Timothy couldn't get no draft off of him. Alex Cruz is staying in the middle, and he is forming as a blocker, blocking Timothy. Timothy says, hey, I didn't appreciate that block. Gave him a little bump. So Timothy is now to the bottom. Alex Cruz got hung up there all by himself. James Kaufman and Greg Barnett are right on each other. Greg Barnett has gained 10 positions from where he started in the race. You got James Goshen trying to push Greg Barnett to come around the corners. Kaufman is staying low, and it is Goshen and Barnett that are pushing to try and clear Kaufman. Barnett has dropped down in front of Kaufman, and Goshen is now side by side with Kaufman coming out of 4. They pushed Colton to the inside of the red and white line coming out of the corner there. We've got a little 3 wide. It is Colton Lanford, Connor LaFrance, and Alex Cruz 3 wide in 2. Now as they come down the backstretch, it looks like Colton LaFrance and Connor LaFrance and Colton Lanford. I'll get these names right in just a minute, guys. But we have a change of positions. Patrick is still in front. Jamie Barkas is right there in 2nd. James Kaufman is in 3rd. Greg Barnett in 4th. James Goshen is in 5th. Mark Brannigan and Timothy Douglas are fighting it out for 6th and 7th. Timothy takes 6 from Mark Brannigan. Connor and Colton are fighting for 8th and 9th. Mark Brannigan is now up there to 6th. Timothy has dropped to 7th. Connor LaFrance has moved to 8th. Colton's dropped to 9th. Alex Cruz is back in 10th. Scott Rankin is holding at 11th. Colton Tutton has lost 6 positions and is down to 12th. John Anthony is holding in 13th. Tommy Osborne is moved up from 15th to 14th. And Jacob Ellenson has lost 6 positions to 15th position. He's still 1 lap down. Oh, you see him going in the turn, coming out of turn 2. Kaufman is weaving and trying to throw a block in the middle of the road. He goes to the bottom of the track. He's trying to jump to the middle and follow LaFrance around the track. He doesn't know if he wants to follow him or if he's going to stay low.
Knock the shit out of me, Jake.
I don't know who Tommy was talking to on that one. We're following the action.